Good morning. What a fabulous Monday morning this is. Time's running out. But unfortunately, it appears my toolbox and my garbage can both puked. And then, of course, there's the pile of horse poop or Mustang parts that I have to deal with, which also seemed directly connected to my brain. So, yeah, I think I'm due for a long overdue cleanup. I think I'm going to get into it right now. I'm going to need a tractor and some totes and maybe a pallet. Ouvre la porte. Yeah, this is definitely a disaster. So I think first thing I'm going to do is go get my tractor, and I want to move the truck out of there so I have access to pile pieces. And then I'm going to raise this thing up to the top or stop halfway and clean up some mess. And then if I organize my tools and my parts, I'll also organize my brain. Is the seat wet? No. Okay, let's see if this will run. Hey. This has an issue with quitting. Just a moment. I need kind of two hands to get on. Okay. Reverse. Chokey. Gas pedal. And forward. Come on. There it goes. See, and then it quits. A little choke, away she goes. It's 4-stroking. Then it's rich. There's like no happy medium on this choke. She hums right along and then out of fuel. I think we have a fuel delivery issue. Come on. Okay, well, that's enough of that. Yeah, I think there's definitely a fuel delivery issue. And it behaves different under load, so blocking it up and spinning the wheels doesn't seem to work. So gas is clean because the tank was flushed. Fuel pump was replaced. You know, there's those things. Unless the fuel pump itself is just no darn good. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna have to check out fuel pump delivery. Let's see what it does. I think that's easy enough. We can disable the spark and crank it and see what it pumps out. Anyway, I'm gonna drag out the tractor and start playing around here, getting some stuff cleaned up. I'll bring you back when maybe I can see a floor or a bench or both. Well, hello. I know you won't believe it, but the shop is actually cleaner. Let me find my gloves. And I need a jumper cable. I'm gonna do the smoke test, I guess. That's what's next. I just gotta find a little jumper so I don't those things aren't supposed to be there. Get that out. I think I need to tighten the ground up. Why do I have all of this? That's weird. Alright. Where am I? I'm here. Okay, so step 1, turn off key. Step 2, tighten up a ground bolt. Engine ground. Make sure the key is off. Where is the key? The key appears to be off. Oh, that's nice. I thought there was a switch missing. Apparently not. Man, that's a solid car. Okay, so I'm just gonna get my chain out of the way. What am I gonna do? Oh yes, this here needs to be attached more. It looks like a half. I'll just borrow a wrench. Snug that up. Moving to Montana. Keep that. Shall we snug her up? This way I got the body ground. Is attached to the motor. I wasn't going to do it that way because I have this linkage, but I gotta figure out how to connect the linkage to the engine, which is just hanging here, which is confusing me. So I gotta figure that out. There's a bunch of stuff down here that I need to maybe pull up out of the way. I should get my light out of here. Okay, there. But just to crank the engine over to see if it's going to work, or test the... Oh, where's my jumper? It's here. Okay. So somewhere over here. There is, I'm just going to get this stuff out of the way. Put this in. The capacity of this transmission is far beyond what the manual said, because I have been pouring oil in and it's still not on the stick. I don't even know how many I've got. Oh, there's my stupid ratchet. Good thing I didn't bump the starter over. I might have hurt something. There's some garbage down there. Really good. Well, look at that. I was missing that one. Okay, jumper wire right here. That should carry the amperage we need. Get that out of the way. Now there should be 2 wires here that I know of. If we take this one and this one, I'm even going to plug this crank wire in, just to see if it'll crank. For some odd reason, that solenoid looks better. Weird. So those 2 like that. You think that's going to work? I don't. And like that. This way, I can do a quick disconnect. Okay, they're connected. Okay, there's nothing there. Perfect. Okay. Let's go turn on a key. Kia and see if we hear any action with anything. There's lots to check. Take my gloves off so my hands are half decent clean. Okay. Oh, we got dome lights. Well, 1, 2, 3. Hear that? That is the shifter. Okay, let's oh, okay, I'm going to stop there. Oh. So, I guess next I should, hey, let's see if the signal's working. No. Lights. Park. That's drive. Well, that's a sad. Courtesy lights can be switched off. Cool. What's this? There's a control here. Okay, that's the power seat that doesn't work. Okay. We are on to stuff. I'm not testing the wipers yet. The glass is too dirty. Power seat doesn't work. How about windows? Uh-oh. Well, the drivers goes up and down. Which one did I roll down? I rolled one down a little bit. I heard it. I think it was the second one. Oh boy. Okay, it works on the back. Okay, so I guess next is, well, I can put the driver's window down, which is something I wanted to see if it would work. Boy, that thing's gonna be a challenge. Okay. That is so cool. All right. So we've got some stuff that works and some stuff that doesn't work. I thought I switched the courtesy lights off. We just jammed the switch in the right spot. They all power off. Door light? Okay. Uh-oh. So we got no headlights. Parking. We got park lights? No headlights, no park lights. This headlight switch could be on, dimmer switch could be unplugged. Yeah. Oh, we got 3 we had a 4 on the back. That was the license plate. Grounded? Yeah, okay. Oh, did I lock it? No, good. Okay. What's next? Oh, I'm gonna pause you guys. I'm gonna do some other work. I gotta sandblast and paint that throttle linkage. Well, this is interesting. I'm assuming that this thing has to be grounded because every time it touches something with the ground, the motor's warm. And the motor's not moving, so I need to get this down and out of here where it won't short out. I'm having issues, guys. Stop it! Okay, I gotta lower it. I'm gonna have to take that motor apart. See if we can undo whatever's doing it. It might be a candidate for a floor shifter, which is really going to throw something into the gears here. But it might be worth it in the end. Save a lot of hassle anyway. So, brace yourself, Douglas. Well, it's not good. I'm going to go chuck this in the lathe and see if we can smarten it up a little bit. And then I'll clean the brushes, and I'm gonna test to make sure we're not shorted out. So that's next. This was seized. This bushing end here, as you can see, it's all corroded. So I managed to free it up and get it apart. But yeah, nothing like fixing electric motors. I'm no engineer, but I think maybe it survived. We'll find out. It looks kind of sooty and cooked, but I don't know. We'll get to it and see if it works. I'll bring you back if it works. I'll bring you back if it don't. Well, time for a little update. I don't know if I had you, yeah, I did have you in. I took this thing apart. I got a picture of the other piece, but that's what this is in here. It's done. There's no coming back from that. And this piece here is really stuck. Sticky. I don't know how I would get that apart and get it back together properly again. So yeah, there's just there's nothing left of the brushes. I did clean the armature up. Oops, spring. So basically I'm going to pull the mechanism out, undo the plugs, leave all that stuff hanging, and reassemble this as is, and put it in a box. Maybe one day it will heal itself. But it's shorted to ground somehow because the current was passing through the housing and it shouldn't. There is a ground on the body, so I don't understand what was going on there. So that's that. We're calling it a wash before I spend too much time on it. So I started working on throttle linkage because we're going to need that as well. And you know, Humpty Dumpty is haunting us again. Down below here, can you see? Douglas. This guy right here, this piece it's wiggling. There's supposed to be a brace somewhere in here to hold this. You can see the wear. So I got to fab up a bracket and carry on from there. I guess that's next on my agenda. Yeah, I bent the rod and I bent it backwards, so I've got to redo it. And then eventually we'll get to connecting this to the carburetor to that little hole right there. And then, yeah, that'll be part of that. So there's time wasted there. The power steering pressure line and return line are done. They're on. I want to fire it up and see if we got power steering. I'm just not there yet. I guess I could, just to see if it actually works. Maybe I'll do a quick check. I think the wiring harness from the shifter is actually laying against the pipe. Yeah, so I got to kick that out of there. So maybe I'll do that. And fire this thing up again and see if the power steering works. I think that's, I'm going to deviate from my other plan and think about that for a minute, because now I got to figure out a bracket. So always little changes. Challenges, I should say, challenges. Every day is a challenge with this one, sadly, but it is what it is, right? I've got a plan for a shifter. We'll call it the economy shifter. You'll see. Anyway, I'll be back in a bit. Morning, next day. I don't know what the deal is, but power steering seems to be, I'm thinking the pump isn't making pressure, so looks like I'm gonna have to pull it off and see what's going on. I'll have to take it apart. I have no idea what I'm doing, but there is a service manual, which I forgot to bring out, but that's typical of me. But we got a wet spot, and that, I just checked with a paper towel, is motor oil. So we got to figure out where that's coming from. So there's that. I'm just going to keep plugging away, make throttle controls, do all the things I got to do, and try and get all this stuff straightened away. So at the very least, it's movable. So yeah, I'm going to be piddling with brakes soon enough. It would be nice to see if they are functioning. Have to start pulling fluid through, I guess. Oh, I see, that's where the junction block is. And you use a little bit of cleanup. And yeah, I got a feeling we're going to be changing the master cylinder to a dual master and a different vacuum booster, just to make it serviceable, usable. Anyway, just thought I'd brought you in for an update, and I'm going to keep plunking away here till I can't no more. I guess I'm going to attack that throttle linkage next. Get that sorted out. Put that behind me. Just one more thing to get done. So just add that to the list of missing parts. Okay, I'm going to get after it. I think I'm going to drop this video. So as always, I'd like to thank you both for watching. And stand by, stay tuned. See you in a bit. We'll see what the next disappointment is. Challenge. Hurdle. Humpty's haunting us. Well, I don't know. You tell me. Oh, I missed a spot. Okay, that don't matter. Looks factory. It's on the back of the engine. That's the pivot point for the throttle. So that's done. Took some real engineering to get that where I wanted it. But yeah, so that part's done. I guess tomorrow is shift cable. And I can pop that bracket out, that one, the throttle cable, throttle bracket, and clean it up and paint it. Just because Douglas doesn't want me to do it, I'm sure. Right, Doug? So, yeah. So then we got gas pedal. I did cheat a little bit. And I undid that little nut right there on the line. And no fluid fuzz come out. So I went inside and noticed the pedal was to the floor. So somebody had pressed it at some point in time. Guess really it's not that big of a deal. So I raised it and I looked and it was bubbling, so I pushed it down and it is displacing fluid. Not saying it's not going to leak, but at least there's fluid movement, which is a start. So we will continue to press forward with that. Before I even try and apply brakes, I need to pull all the wheels. and inspect what's in there, because if the wheel cylinders are hanging up, then we got a big problem if we apply the brakes and we can't get them off, then we can't pull the drums. So that's going to be probably something to do when I got a helper around, because that's going to be a little bit more labor intensive for handling the wheels and jacking and things like that. So that's that. There was an oil leak, and it turned out, I'm pretty certain it was the passenger side valve cover at the back corner. We couldn't get that bolt properly tightened, so I made a modification today, and that should be working fine. No power steering. I'm going to let that slide for a little bit until I figure out if it's the pump or if it's the gear. If it's the mechanism, then I'm going to have to look at taking it apart and seeing if we can get it to free up. These things have been sitting dry for so long, who knows what's what with that. Anyway, getting down to the nitty gritty. What have we got now? 1, 2, 9 days. 8, because I got to be away for 1. 7, because, you know, I might take an extra day here or there. Yeah, so regardless, progress has been fairly decent today. I got done what I wanted to get done. So next is the shifter. That's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be interesting. We'll see you in a bit. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. No, probably not tomorrow. It's going to be crappy out tomorrow, so I'll be in the shop, stuck. Saturday's supposed to be nice. That'll be the day I go rooting around my parts cars for shifters. Anyway, as always, I'd like to thank you both for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.